Are power companies price gouging during a winter blackout storm? Who would have thought? Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. The executive director of Public Citizen Texas, Adrian Shelley. And Adrian, is there a specific website for Public Citizen Texas?
Yeah, so Public Citizen is at citizen.org. You can find our Texas office at citizen.org/Texas.
Cool. And we were just talking about, where this is all. Actually, I had another question. I was reading in the Washington Post this morning that some customers, some people who are electricity users in Texas, were getting a notification that their electric bills were going up to like $8,000 a kilowatt hour or something like. I don't remember the measurement, the piece, but the prices were just spiking. How does that work?
Yeah, so something like that, right? So there is a cap for wholesale pricing, and that cap is $9,000 per megawatt hour, which would translate to about $9 per kilowatt hour on a bill, right? And it is true that on Monday, prices reached that cap. In fact, the state regulator, the Public Utility Commission of Texas, actually stepped in and raised the price to meet that market cap of $9,000. And that makes sense at a time when demand is exceeding supply by a factor of 2, right? If there's not even enough energy to supply all the needs in Texas, it would make sense that energy would be selling for the maximum price. Now, that does mean that purchasers of energy are going to have to pay more, and it does mean that some of that price is going to trickle down into people's bills. How that actually works is highly specific to you and your contract with your power provider. There are some people who have contracts that are directly linked to that wholesale price. So if the wholesale price goes up to $9,000, then your bill is going to show a similar proportional increase, and you may end up with a very large bill for the couple of minutes or hours that happens. Just like power producers make a whole lot, and in some cases a significant percentage of their money during those times of incredible price spikes, there are some pricing models for consumers that are going to have them paying most of their price when these very large spikes happen. Other people have contracts that smooth out the energy price a little bit more over the weeks and months of the year.
Yeah. Now, at $9 a kilowatt hour, my recollection is that I'm paying here in Oregon around 6 or 7 cents a kilowatt hour. Am I remembering that right? Does that sound right to you?
That's correct. Yeah, you're looking at orders of magnitude greater, but keep in mind this is only going to be for a few minutes or hours of your entire bill, right? You're essentially purchasing power 24 hours a day, and maybe a few of those hours you're going to be purchasing at that maximum price.
Now, we all remember back during the Enron scandals where you had these kids who were traders, I guess, electricity traders at Enron headquarters who were talking about, shut down that power plant over there, hey, to hell with grandma, et cetera, et cetera. And that it turned out that the reason they were doing this is as they reduced the amount of electricity that was available in the California market, it drove up the price, which increased Enron's profitability. Is that what's happening in Texas? I mean, are these power plants, as electricity goes from 6 or 7 cents a kilowatt hour up to $9 a kilowatt hour, that's just going right to their bottom line, or is there some kind of logic beyond just the marketplace here? Is that additional money supposed to be used to like build out infrastructure or protect it for the future or something? I mean, or is it just purely supply and demand?
Yeah, so there has been a lot of speculation about that kind of market manipulation. Another rumor that I've seen out there in the last few days is that natural gas generators actually shut down when the spot price of their natural gas fuel increased dramatically. The reality is, I don't think any sort of coordinated effort or manipulative effort like that was possible this week. There has been so much chaos in the markets and in the grid, sources going down, rolling blackouts. It just doesn't seem likely or feasible that that kind of manipulation would be going on at the same time. Now, it is true that the way prices ebb and flow here in Texas are a little unusual and a little difficult to interpret at times. The fact that we have these price spikes where energy becomes, 100 times more expensive, it's an unusual pricing model, and there are some sources that have to sell at those high prices to make any money at all. So it's a confusing picture. It's difficult for retailers or consumers to understand.